Welcome to another episode of I'm Tired of Being Right All the Time. My name is Johnny Wright, President and CEO of the Biosphere. No, we're not selling puppets today, although it may be very lucrative. Maybe it's something we'll think about. No, today I am tired of being right about how to run a effective, powerful, and brief, short meeting. Yeah, y'all liking me now, ain't you? Yeah, give it up for Johnny running a shorter meeting. What is it about meetings that just stinks, right? I mean, why? Why do we cringe at meetings? Why do we hate the thought of having a meeting? Well, there may be a solution in the research. This is the Wall Street Journal from February 16th. And there's a great article in here called The Science of Better Meetings. There's a survey done by Salary.com every year for the past 2-3 years. And what they ask over 3,000 people surveyed who work for assorted different businesses is they ask, what is the number one biggest waste of time in the workplace? The dominant answer at around 50% is, ta-da, meetings. We hate them. They're wastes of time. They're so often, you and I have been in meetings where it wasn't organized. It wasn't thought through. There was no agenda. It meandered. Or a meeting that feels like it's being called to punish employees, right? So that there's an issue that the owner or the manager suddenly believes has to be addressed. We've got to go to a meeting. We've got to get on this. We've got to get on this. We must get on this. Assemble the troops. Get them all together. I've got something I want to complain to everybody. I want to punish people. I want to punish everyone in a group setting along with treats. That's why meetings stink. So we have a specific process, policy, procedure, implementation on how to run a great meeting, powerful meeting, and a shorter meeting. Couple of rules before we go into this. And by the way, all of these here assembled are going to be participating in the meeting. They are, I should introduce everyone here who's at the meeting. These are Biosphere team. This is three eyes, cockadoodle don't, smiley face, blue hair, bear, stripes, hamburger helper, and orange head. All right. It's sort of a rogues gallery of employees who facilitate. Hey, we take what we can get, unemployment's low. So, some rules first in terms of meetings, just in general. First, you got to know why you're having a meeting. Without a purpose of a meeting, there is no purpose, and most meetings actually fall under that category. The reason to have a meeting is to problem solve, number one. And not just the things that may be obvious, opportunities for growth and improvement in a workplace, but also each individual has his or her own challenges, issues, maybe time management, maybe supplies, or there's not enough, or the communication, interdepartmental. It could be a whole host of things. So meetings allow your entire team to step forward and say, hey, I've got this challenge. I need some help. Let's work on this together. It's the number one reason to have a meeting. Number two is team building. Build the team. Yeah, it's a lovely way. What a lovely way to say how much I love you. Having my meeting. What a lovely way to say how much I love you. I knew I'd find the right key eventually. Team building. You get to break bread. Food should be served at your meeting, by the way. Good food. And a lot of starch, a lot of candy, a lot of whatever. Anyway, you figure out what you want to feed people. But feeding people is a good thing, puts them in a good mood, creates endorphins. These are good things. Buys you time. Speaking of time, meetings should be no more than 30 minutes. That's it. Tick-tock, you don't stop. Tick-tock, you don't stop. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Tick-tock, you don't stop. 31 minutes is past the threshold of adult human attention. Research-based. I'm telling you, this is research-based. A very smart man shared that with me. I even looked it up, and he was right as rain. So go into the meeting thinking, okay, 30 minutes. We're going to have some specific problems we're going to address, opportunities for growth. And then we're also going to create a roadmap, a pathway for everyone to share a roadblock of their own. That gets us into the first step of the meeting, which before I do that, The other great part of a meeting is that it shouldn't just always be emceed by one person. Typically, the manager will do it or the owner. You should rotate. Yeah, maybe the owner does it the first time you have the meeting, and then the next meeting, the Three Eyes is going to lead the next meeting, and then Hamburger Helper will lead the third meeting. You rotate it out, you let people know, and you give them this process to follow when they're leading the meeting. One of the great pieces of research in the Wall Street Journal issue is that people who run meetings think typically that the meeting went better than the people who are actually in the meeting. So the perceptions are very, very different. All right. That's why you rotate through and let other people lead the meeting. That'll give people more skin in the game. All right. So you're going to feed them. You're going to sit them down in a quiet conference room area without distractions. Don't be answering the phone and trying to take care of customers or anything. You have to have their full attention. 10 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is the max. 10 is the max that you want in a meeting. The more people you add to a meeting, the longer it will be, and the more it'll play against that 30-minute threshold. So if you have more than 10 people in your company, then talk to the people who won't be in the meeting and get their feedback. What things do they want addressed? What problems do they want to see solved in the meeting? And you'll bring that to the meeting with the group of 10. All right. Step number 1, then, you've got your venue, you've got your employees in the meeting, you're feeding them, you've got food, you've got an agenda written up going into the meeting. It doesn't have to be super detailed, but it should spell out these steps and what you're going to chat about. Number 1, roadblocks. What are roadblocks? Roadblocks are anything that prevents you from doing your job. Could be time management, organization, communication, supplies, anything that negatively impacts your job, anything that is your kryptonite to your superpowers, as we talk about in Biosphere training, all right? And you go to each employee and have them share one roadblock. So Cock-a-doodle-don't may say, hey, I hate it that there's not giblets in the employee break room to eat all the free snacks. There's no giblets. I don't know whatever chickens eat. Don't chickens eat giblets, or is that part of when you serve when you cook a chicken? I don't even know. I'm a farm boy supposedly. Anyway, so Cock-a-doodle-don't says there's not enough giblets for the free food for the employees. There's a problem, right? So Cock-a-doodle-don't gets to share this as a roadblock. This is upsetting Cock-a-doodle-don't, and so each individual employee shares one roadblock. And as they share their roadblock, then you problem solve. You problem solve. Oh, yes, that is a beautiful thing. Yeah, you problem solve as a group. So individual roadblocks first, and then as a group, you say, okay, Cock-a-doodle-don't says there's no giblets in the employee break room for free snacks. Group, what are we going to do about it? And so Blue Hair and Smiley Face and Bear and Stripes and Hamburger Helper and Orange Guy and all of them are talking about this. He's telling them, hey, you guys figure it out. As the MC, as the leader of the meeting, you really let the people solve it amongst themselves and let them as a group come up with what they believe is the best solution, okay? So in this place, Cock-a-doodle-dont's problem with giblets, as a group, they say, hey, doesn't the vendor who provides us with candy bars and granola bars and sodas, don't they also sell giblets? And we say, gosh, they probably do. Yeah, let's have giblets also delivered. That then brings forth the third part of this. So we got a roadblock shared, we've problem solved as a group, and now we're going to delegate the solution. Delegate, don't hesitate. Delegate means the leader of that meeting is going to point at one of the very strange set of employees here and say, okay, Bear, I want you to contact the vending company and see if they sell giblets. And Bear, if they don't sell giblets, I want you to then research and maybe, call some other vending companies that may sell giblets for Cock-a-doodle-don't. We want to make sure everybody's happy, right? With snack. Yeah. All right. Bear, does that sound good? Okay. Now, part of delegating, whatever part of the solution needs delegated, whether it's writing an SOP, standard operating procedure, or creating some sort of paper trail, is to ask the person for an ETA, estimated time of arrival or estimated time of solution. In this case, Bear, I would say, when do you think you can call the vending company and give us an answer? Okay, you can do it tomorrow. Oh, great, that sounds great. All right. And so by tomorrow afternoon, you're going to come to me and share whatever you find out, right? Yes. Now I've got a deadline. And it's a hard and fast deadline. It's not some random thing. Well, hey, just go look into it and get back to me whenever you feel like it. That's how problems are never solved, because there's not a specific problem-solving process with deadlines. You've also asked Bear to create the deadline. Instead of me telling Bear, hey, I want this done in the next hour, call the Giblet factory and find out, I'm going to have Bear create the deadline. Bear then has skin in the game. Bear is more likely to execute at the time of the deadline that Bear has created. So there's a power to this, all right? You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, you get where this is going? So you do this with each employee who's in the meeting, share a roadblock, and boomity boom boom, they'll do that. You problem solve as a group, and the leader of the meeting is writing down the solutions, is making a record of the solutions that are offered for each of the problem, solution, and the ETA. They're keeping track of all of that, right? Okay. So you've done that. You've went through all of the employees, including the leader of the meeting, who also shares roadblocks and is part of all this other stuff too. Yeah. Here's the last step of a great meeting. I love this part. It is kudos. Thank you for being a coworker. You get where I'm going. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Kudos. Praise, right? And so you go to each employee and say, hey, share a kudo. Who do you want to call out that did a great job? And so 3 Eyes says, I want to thank Smiley Face. Every time I look at him, it just makes my day. Or Cockadoodle Don't says, I want to thank Orange Guy because he stayed late with me and helped me complete a project. Or Hamburger Helper says, Hamburger Helper wants to thank Striped Thing because he helped Hamburger Helper make a great meal. All right? Specific praise, not general praise. Like, it wouldn't be enough for Blue Hair to say, I just want to tell Smiley Face you're great. Well, it's not really praise. You can say it about anybody. So specific praise, specific kudos. The leader of the meeting then gives each person a kudo. So 3 Eyes, I want to thank you. Your sense of fashion is fabulous. Cockadoodle Don't, thank you so much for not pooping in the break room. Smiley Face, thank you. And you get where I'm going with this. That's how you end the meeting. Roadblocks, individual, 1 roadblock each. Problem solving as a group, solve the problem, come up with a solution, and then delegate that whatever element of the solution needs delegated to an individual person along with their estimated time of the execution of that particular solution, what their part is. And last, kudos. You end the meeting on a positive note. And I think as the leader, there's a lot of team building at the end. Hey, man, you guys are just awesome. I love working with you guys. Thank you so much for your commitment. Let's have a fantastic day. And if you need any help with any of this, please come to me. This is a collective. It's not punitive. It's not punishment. It's the collaborative nature of problem solving and team building that comes from this. Now, how often should you have meetings? That's the last thing. I would have meetings once a week. I'd have them on the same day each week, and I would do that for at least 3 months, especially if you've never had a meeting inside your building, and many of you haven't. Meetings are productive things that can be awesome. 30-minute limitation. Remember that you're a group, you're together, it creates unity, and you end up solving problems that otherwise may fester inside people's head and hearts. That impacts their proficiency, efficiency, their happiness, and the culture. This is about building a bigger, better, and more badass culture. So tomorrow, in your workplace, I want you to get off your Badinsky and recommend this great process for having a fabulously productive and shorter meeting. I appreciate you watching today's video. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'm tired of being right all the time. Yeah.